plane, announces I'm off to the Middle East to join the peace coalition that nobody else in the world knows about, but Keir Starmer has decided to call a peace coalition in the Middle East.
Remember we had Coalition of the Willing in Ukraine?
Coalition of the Willing,
and he was going to put boots on the ground.
That's right. If I was an American DJ on a music station, every time Keir Starmer's name was mentioned, I'd play that famous Kenny Rogers song, "The Coward of the County," because he has shown lack of vertebrae, lack of backbone, lack of commitment and willingness to get involved in this war against Iran.
Let us not forget, the Coward of the County actually ends up with Jimmy being the hero.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well, I can tell you what, he won't end up with Keir Starmer being a hero under any circumstances.
Hang on a second. Well, just don't take your love to town, mate. I mean, the interesting thing is, you say he solved it. He hasn't. He's just deferred it for 2 weeks. And as for the situation with Shabazz
Well, it's better than the world being in flames, isn't it, Stephen?
But who was threatening to set it on fire in the first place?
Iran.
It's not. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think Iran was threatening to reduce America to the stage.
I think our previous guest made a very good point. Iran's, it's in their DNA. They want to expunge Israel from the map of the world.
It's not only in their DNA, it's in their constitution.
Well, it's in Hamas's constitution.
In the constitution of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The first thing we get, destroy Israel.
I tell you, and by the way, they care nothing for any of those people. Those people standing on the bridges, do you think they would have cared less if the Americans had sacked those bridges and blown them all up? They wanted them to because it would have turned international pressure on America.
But I'm just quite interested because the people who are outraged this morning that Trump didn't end civilization, which I think he was always referring to the leaders of Iran, not the people.
We hope so.
Of course. Are you pleased then that he didn't go hard?
Of course I am. Of course I am. But I think what's fascinating about this is the way that Shehbaz Sharif has come into this. You know, he's the Prime Minister of Pakistan.
We're curious about that.
Well, he's already labelling it the Islamic Treaty, Islamic Accord, Islamabad Accord. So this puts Pakistan actually front and centre on the world stage. It's a big deal for them, without a question. However, the fact that at the present
upon a time that could have been Britain.
Should have been.
We're not even on the board of peace, remember?
I think the fact
we're not even taking a seat.
The fact it's a Muslim country, I think, is the key thing here. The really, really important thing here, and I think that's the key issue here. But you know, to say that it's like if I was threatened to burn your house down, then say, oh, by the way, I'm not going to burn your house down, and I expect you to be grateful. Yeah,
but Pakistan was one of the few countries that Trump thought he could trust. I mean, I know internationally you can't trust anybody because they're all going to turn on you, but he thought of all the undesirables to get involved in a peace deal, Pakistan were the best of the undesirables to represent them, and somebody had to do something at the 11th hour. But I don't half get upset with all these people saying this outrageous language from Donald Trump. Don't people understand the only language the Iranian mullahs understand is the sort of language used by Donald Trump?
Particularly helps.